Flesh painting can be very tricky. Throw in a purple half-naked demon and it can get extremely tricky. This is Marcus Glowczak. He's going to show you how to paint Slaanesh demon flesh like a pro. This is just a clip from our full painting lesson in Knights Paint Pro. If you want to see the full lesson, just click the link in the description and become a patron today. With that said, enjoy the lesson and happy painting.
Hello, this is Marcus with About Miniature Painting, here with your Pro Paint by Knights at the Game Table painting tutorial. We are working on the demon skin and demon flesh of the Infernal Enrapturers from Games Workshop for Warhammer 40k for your Slaanesh army. It is going to be a great thing to get everything ready and get you prepared to get the minis on the table. We're going to be starting with, for the colors, the Reaper Deep Twilight, Vallejo Game Color Heavy Violet, Scale 75 Fantasy and Game Lindiness Gray, and finishing up our final highlights with Hellbound Flesh by Scale 75 Fantasy and Game. So we're going to be using our airbrush, and we're going to do a very light coat of Deep Twilight on our flesh tone, which, as you can see, we've already done what's called a Zenithal highlight. We've primed it black, done a gray transition, and where the light is the most predominantly on the model, we have done a white highlight with our Stynylrest primer. You can get the same effect with Rattle Can, but we're going to get right to this. Alright. As you can see, we have just a drop in our airbrush. We're going to swirl that around. Looks like it's a little thin. So we're going to add another drop of our Deep Twilight. There we go. And we are going to airbrush all the flesh for our base coat. As you can see, we've gotten a lot of contrast on the flesh just from that little bit alone, which is a great start. Now we are going to get to work on the next part. And the next part is going to be our mainstay. And that mainstay is going to be our Heavy Violet. Now we already have a little bit on our wet palette we're going to use, and we are using a bomb wick size 0 for majority of our detail. And what we're going to do is we're just going to come in. We're just going to put that paint where it goes the best. Alrighty, there we go. Everything is a-okay. And we're just going to go ahead and get the top part, certain part of our abs, because we want that deep purple, that twilight color, to be our shadows. So what that means is we're going to be very lightly going over all the little sections. We'll just slowly but surely get these in. And it's just a slow workup of getting all the colors in. Now we have the inside leg we can't forget about. There we go. Alrighty, now comes the main fun part of just looping the color in and around. Alright, as you can see, it is slowly but surely coming together. And we're just going to tap section that says this in. We're going to just not completely go over where we had that Deep Twilight, but enough where we can start building layers for transition work. Because we really want those that for our depth. There we go. Now what's nice about these transitions is a lot of these transitions that we're doing, you don't actually have to do heavy washing or anything until it's about close to the end when you're blending the colors together. Because at that point, you're using thinned inks to transition all the colors. What we're looking at now is getting this in. It is just a slow workup. Luckily, the flush is one of the easiest things to do on this model. We're just going to slowly but surely get this ball rolling. And we have most of our color in where it needs to be. So as you can see, we have a fairly purple looking model. All right. Our next color is we're going to add our lindiness gray. We're going to add a drop of it beside our heavy violet, and we're going to slowly work these two colors into a nice medium. And the reason why is this will give us effectively our transitional tone that is a shade lighter. Here's what we're going to do is we're going to come in and add a little bit. This to it. And as you can see, it has done a lot for the transitions already. And you don't really need much smaller than a size 0 for majority of your work on this model until it comes time for the face. And at that point we'll be doing eyes and everything else, which will be in the full video. Right now we're just going to slowly block in these colors for transitions. It is very much a matter of placing the color where it works. do is we're going to leave the bone claw fairly dark. In fact, we'll actually probably wind up glazing a fair amount into it to keep it darkened. Next up is, it is pure, it's almost pure Tendelos. We're about a 25% of that heavy violet and 75% of our Tendelos. We're just going to hit that. And this is effectively the most part one of the easier stages of painting this model. As you can see, it's slowly coming together. We've gotten a lot of the flesh effectively blocked in. And here we go. We could do a lot of airbrushing with this, but this is really one of those models where it shines better for the skin to do it by hand. There's other aspects of this model we will be airbrushing. Alright, we just need to mix a little more of this. So we didn't make enough of it. So I use my thumb as a test palette for a lot of the colors because Demon Flash is fairly neutral in tone, and it gives us a nice idea of what a color is going to look like. Well everyone, we are about at the halfway point for the Demonic Flesh tutorial. If you liked what you've seen, please take this time and sign up for this exclusive opportunity for Pro Paint by Knights at the Game Table and see a wide variety of miniatures painted by a long list of amazing artists. This is an exclusive opportunity to learn the techniques behind the pro painting. Sign up today. As we start building it up, it slowly comes ahead. And it's a slow workup of slowly and surely building this color up. And because every layer we do slowly fills out the model. And we just need to make sure the key points are hit. And following our Zenithal highlight. Slowly. Build this in. For the Lord of Slaanesh shall be pleased. Oh. And again, the color that we're using is 25%, or basically 1 part of our heavy violet, and the rest is 75% Tindalos gray from the scale 75 fantasy and game line. It is a very good mid-tone color for us to be working with, and it does a lot of what we need it to do. Alright, so the next color we're going to go to is a mix of Tindalos gray and this is going to be one of our primary colors. So much. Just find that. And at this point, it's basically effectively just going in with our and using the last 2 colors really as a transitional highlight, where the Tindalos gray, well, the Lindenus gray, sorry, what we're doing is we're just slowly working that in. There we go. And now we're going to do our final highlight. And we're mixing those together in a 50-50 spread. And this is going to be our second to last highlight on the flesh. And this is our mix of 50-50 Londonist Gray and also our mix of Hellbound Flesh. And what we're doing is we're doing our second to final transition, which means we are just hitting key points with this for the final highlight. And And we're still doing the 50-50 mix right now. This will be changing when I have to go to this. This will be changing shortly. So we have a large majority of the flesh done, and we're going to go to our final color. And then we will use some washes to blend it all together. All right. And now the Hellbound Flesh is slowly coming together, and as you can see, using it as our final transition color, it really brings most of the flesh together. Alrighty. That's for the most part, a lot of our main work. Alrighty. So the next part, we're going to grab some dark tone. We'll grab some dark tone. Some strong tone. And some purple tone. We're going to make ourselves a little bit of a wash. And then we're going to use the little cap. And we're going to add just about 2 drops of flow improver. Now we're going to grab our mix brush and mix it all together. There we go. And then we're going to grab the brush we use to do our washes. Alright, we need a little more purple tone with this. It's not as purpley as I like. So we're going to mix up. Now where's that? I can mess it off. For certain areas. There we go. That is the next part. Part 1. Now we just gotta let it dry. If you want to see the exclusive video of the Infernal and Rapturous being painted from start to finish, sign up today for the Pro Paint by Knights of the Game table and see a list of videos of how to paint a variety of different miniatures from a long list of amazing artists and learn the techniques behind the painting. Don't miss out on this exclusive opportunity. Sign up today.